Well, hey there, you're on the internet, I have some free time, and welcome to the Triple N Network, where all you newbie nib nerds can find all the news you'll need. Let's look at an ink today, shall we? Now, today's ink I have in sample form DeAtramentis Document Red. So, it's from their document series. Obviously, the red one. And all the tests were done in this Platinum Preppy, you know, one of the fine ones, the 03. And thought I'd compare it to some other permanent red inks. Here's Document Red in the middle, and here's Empire Red and Eternal Fox by Noodlers on either side. And it's sort of a nice medium between the two. It's not as dark as Fox, not as light as Empire. You know, shades kind of in between the two. So, yeah. Fascinating chromatography. Now, here's how you're supposed to do chromatography, where you put the ink and instantly dunk it in the water. Can you see that dark band around where it was originally put and how everything sort of scoots up from there? So that made me think, well, you know, what if I let it dry on the chromatography paper? Okay, so there's normal. Here's after 1 minute. You see how that circle gets sort of thicker and darker? Here's after 3 minutes. Again, circle gets thicker and darker. And here's after 5 minutes. Interesting, right? And then I just, I think I left it for somewhere between like 5 and 10 minutes. And that line shows where the water stopped, but the ink did not move. There's no sign at all of anything moving. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Anyways, fun as that is. Top down in density, Clairefontaine, 90 grams per square meter. There's a tiny bit of shading, but it is a fairly light colored ink. So, yeah. 5 seconds to dry, which is not bad for such hydrophobic paper, but it is a fairly fine ink, or nib. Sorry. Yeah, I said it was good flow. Most of the document inks that I had tried from DeAtramentis had some problems. Turquoise was like just flying out of the nib. It was too wet to manage. Document dark blue and blue were kind of on the dry side. I'd say this one is a nice 6 out of 10 flow. It's wet, but it's not like ink cannon wet. So that was nice. I didn't have to fight it out of the pen, especially since the pen is a fairly fine nib. I thought that was nice. So, yeah. Anyways, no bleed, no feather, no spread, no sheen. Really not much echo, but this is a fairly light red, and this is fairly dense paper. Seriously resisted the water test. I mean, the only reason it's as light as that is because I was seriously scrubbing the paper. Then I also did a bleach test. I just sort of left a drop of 1/3 bleach solution on there. And you might be able to tell just from like the look of that, the paper actually started to come apart when I tried to wipe it up. So the paper will come off the paper before the ink comes off of it. So yeah, it's on there. Rhodia, 80 grams per square meter. Again, we have a little bit of shading, and it is a kind of light red ink. I mean, you can see the dots through the scrubby. 5 seconds to dry again. Again, really like the flow. No bleed, no feather, no spread. Water test. Again, like the paper was kind of abused because I was like scrubbing it so hard with the water. And the bleach test, I actually like, you know, took a Q-tip with 1/3 bleach and like really scrubbed it across, but it's still really there. You might be able to see that vague yellowness. I don't know what that's about, but yeah. Next is Tomoe River, where it took 6 seconds to dry, and you still get some shading, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this on camera, but there's something about this ink. It's not sheen. It's just shiny. The ink is shiny. I mean, it's glossy. You know, it looks like enamel paint. You know. Anyways, yeah. No bleed, no feather, no spread. Not too much echo, but this is very thin paper, so you know, as always, that's to taste. So. Water test did really well, especially considering how Tomoe River loves to let ink just slide away when you add more water. Bleach test, fantastic. Great. Next is the world's worst copier paper. And yet, let's take a close look at this performance. Really not bad. There's a tiny bit of spread. There's more of a woolliness than feathering. And no real bleed. Yeah, not bad, right? No shading, and it's certainly not shiny anymore, but really not bad. Again, water test did really well, even though I absolutely scrubbed the crap out of it. Bleach test didn't do as well, but it's still very there. You could recover that. It's just there's a lot more yellow going on, which I don't know what that's about, but interesting. Next is Mead Notebook Paper, where it took 2.5 seconds to dry. And again, I mean, look, this paper is super thin, so, I mean, even with the light coming from this direction, you can kind of see what's going on the other side. But, I mean, there's no, like, real bleed. There's some intense echo, but, yeah, super well behaved. I mean, again, it's more woolly than feathery, and there's no shading, but there's a tiny bit of spread, but really not too much. Water test, fantastic. I mean, did not move. Again, the bleach test just turned kind of yellowy. Oh, yeah, and so that used to say Mead. I don't know if you'll be able to see the remnants of it, but the bleach washed the Mead stamp right off of it. I thought that was funny. Anyways, lastly is Moleskin notebook paper, but this is that shiny, well-behaved Moleskin paper, which I promise I have stopped using because it's giving inaccurate results. I cannot guarantee that this is the result you will get with this ink on normal Moleskin paper. It took 5 seconds to dry, and here it was really well-behaved. There was no bleed, no feather, no spread. It wasn't shiny anymore either, but yeah. Again, water test did really well. Again, you can see the paper started to come off, but bleach test, again, you could definitely recover that. It just got a little bit lighter and it turned kind of yellowy in the background. And I love that you can see that it stripped the lines off of the quadrilateral paper. I thought that was funny. Anyways, there you go for your consideration from the Triple N Network. DeAtramentis Document Red. That one. Not that one. That one. I still prefer this one. That stuff's really not bad. It's got good flow. It's pretty darn well behaved on even the cheaper papers. If you use the fine nib, I can't guarantee anything above that. But yeah, it resists bleach, which I don't know many non-noodler's inks that can do that. So yeah, not bad. For your consideration from the Triple N Network. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you'd like to see more, please subscribe to the channel. And thanks for watching. Bye.